Okay, this doesn't apply to all Toronto people. I mean, there's plenty of nice people living in Toronto, but you know who this applies to. And all I gotta say is, what the fuck is wrong with so many of the people that live in Toronto? I was born in Toronto. I grew up in Mississauga, a suburb of Toronto. I've been all over Canada, and I just find that Toronto people in general are the rudest, most inconsiderate, most unfriendliest people in Canada. Again, not all, this doesn't apply to all of them, but you know who the fuck you are. You know who you know if I'm talking to you or not. I just find a lot of Toronto people to be very ill-mannered people. Like the amount of times I've held doors for people in Toronto, they don't even say thanks. Like on a bad day, you could hold a door for 10 people in Toronto. Maybe only one or two of them will say thanks. Toronto people, when they bump into you, sometimes they don't even bother saying sorry. If you bump into Toronto people by accident, some of them will get all pissed off you, even if it was an accident, and even if you say sorry to them. And let's not even talk about what fucking assholes Toronto drivers are. Toronto drivers are the worst fucking drivers in Canada. Like, you practically have to fucking cut people off in Toronto if you want to make a lane change. Because as soon as you signal that you want to get in the lane, they'll fucking speed up and not want to let you in. I never fucking thought I would hate my birth city so much, the place I was born. But, yeah. Out of every city I've ever been to in Canada, put it this way, I've been to 9 of the 10 Canadian provinces. Newfoundland and Labrador is the only Canadian province I've never been to. I've even been to one of the territories as well too. I've been to every big city in Canada. And Toronto is by far the rudest and most unfriendly city I've ever been to. As a matter of fact, it got so bad for a while. I started to hate Toronto so much at one point, I couldn't even cheer for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Because they're such a strong, they're a representation, such a strong symbol of Toronto. But anyways, I know some people are going to be pissed off about this video, but again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, this video is only intended for the people that are fucking assholes in Toronto. You know who you are. There's a lot of decent people in Toronto, but there's also a lot of fucking assholes in Toronto. And this is who this video applies to. The fucking assholes. Actually, while we're on the subject of Toronto and what I hate about Toronto so much, and talking about traveling around Toronto, let's talk about Toronto's transit system, the TTC. I mean, I remember hearing several years ago, this is probably maybe going back about 10 years or so, maybe even longer. I understand that Toronto transit workers are paid topped out around $33 an hour. And this was about 10 years ago. So I'd imagine Toronto transit workers probably top out, I'm guessing, in the high 30 to maybe even $40 an hour now. But yet, The majority of you are such fucking rude, unfriendly assholes that seem to hate your fucking job so much. Like, what the fuck do you assholes have up your fucking asses? If you hate your fucking job so much, then fucking quit. There's many people who'll take it over from you. I mean, you're supposed to be like ambassadors to the city as Toronto Transit operators, but you're such a bunch of grumpy fucks. Toronto Transit drivers are the most unprofessional, rude, unfriendly transit employees that have come across in Canada. To the TTC workers that know about customer service and how to provide good customer service, thank you. Your work's appreciated. To the rest of the TTC workers that are rude fucks, fuck you all.